Isa sa pinakamalaking istorya nitong 2025 midterm elections ay ang pagkapanalo nila dating Senador Bam Aquino at Kiko Pangilinan. Marami yung nagulat nung lumabas yung unang transmission mula sa COMELEC, and it showed that both Senator Aquino and Senator Pangilinan are the top half nitong ating tinatawag na Magic 12. After all, if titingnan natin yung mga pre-election surveys na lumabas leading up to the elections, si Senator Aquino at Senator Pangilinan are usually at the tail end of the Magic 12, and sa ibang survey pa nga, nasa labas sila noong Magic 12 na tinatawag. Pero ang ending, Senator Aquino placed second at Senator Pangilinan placed fifth in the senatorial race. So ang tanong ngayon, how did this happen at saan nanggaling yung kanilang mga boto? So in-invite natin ang ating Data Analytics Manager, Monica Solideo, to explain to us kung paano nangyari itong pagkapanalo nila Senator Aquino and Senator Pangilinan. Mon?
Salamat, Neil. No? So, importanteng balikan natin yung data na nilatag natin sa ating mga viewers nung eleksyon. Tingnan natin kung gaano ka-importante ang certain provinces. No? Tinatawag natin silang vote-rich provinces sa magiging resulta ng eleksyon. Kung titignan natin, nandiyan ang Cebu, Cavite, Bulacan, Pangasinan, Laguna, Negros Occidental, Batangas, Pampanga, Rizal, at Iloilo. At nandiyan yung bilang ng registered voters sa bawat probinsya na to. Kung susumahin, all these provinces, if we add up all the registered voters from these provinces, they will make up about 31% of the voting population, or about 21 million. So, malaking bagay ito para sa mga candidates na tumatakbo para sa isang national position.
Almost one-third na kaagad yun ng entire population.
Yes.
And Monica, kasi if we look at history, no, doon sa 2022 na senatorial elections natin, si Senator Jinggoy Estrada placed 12th and he got like around 15 million votes. Yes. So kung 21
this is already 21 million based on the number of registered voters for these provinces. So tingnan natin, since ang tanong natin, paano ba nangyari yung high rank na nakuha nila Senators Bam and Senator Kiko? So we look at how they performed in these vote-rich provinces. Tinignan natin base sa ranking nila. And if you look at the numbers, so kay Senator Bam, 8 provinces out of the 10 vote-rich provinces, he ranked first. Specifically, ayan, Cavite, Bulacan, Pangasinan, Laguna, Negros Occidental, Batangas, Rizal, at Iloilo. So, if we add up the votes of all these 10 vote-rich provinces na nakuha ni Senator Bam Aquino, that's already 7.8 million, or about 37% of the total about 20 million votes na meron na siya ngayon based on the partial unofficial results. Maganda rin na naging takbo or naging ranking ni Senator Kiko Pangilinan sa 10 vote-rich provinces na to. 8 out of the 10 vote-rich provinces nakakuha siya ng top 5 or pataas na ranking mula dito sa mga probinsya na to. At dalawa lamang yung, or isa lamang, sa Cebu lamang siya nalaglag dun sa ating top 12. Kung susumahin naman natin ang mga nagboto na nakuha niya mula sa mga probinsyang ito, yan ay nasa 5.7 million, or about 38% of the 15 million votes na meron na siya ngayon. Kay Senator Bongo naman, makikita natin sa halos lahat na yan, nasa rank 4 pataas siya, no? At number 1 siya sa Cebu. And again, kung ganun din ang gagawin natin, susumahin natin ang mga boto na nakuha niya mula sa vote-rich provinces. Nasa 7.5 million yan. Halos kalapit ng mga total votes na nakuha ni Senator Bam Aquino.
Monica, if titingnan natin, no, mas marami yung number 1 ni Senator Bam Aquino sa vote-rich provinces kumpara kay Senator Bongo. Pero how did it end up na overall, naging si Senator Bongo yung number 1?
So, nabanggit ko kanina, yung lahat ng boto na nakuha ni Senator Bam sa vote-rich provinces, nasa 37% na, o more than one-third of the total votes na he already has based on the results now. Samantalang kay Senator Bongo, yung 7.5 million votes na nakuha niya sa vote-rich provinces, hindi nalalayo kay Senator Bam, but that's only about 27% of the total votes that he has now. Masasabi natin na yung majority ng votes na meron siya ngayon, yung majority of the 26 million votes that he has now, hindi talaga concentrated sa vote-rich provinces na ito.
So perhaps galing sa mga probinsya outside the vote-rich provinces. Now, so this is looking at this from the province's perspective. How about if we look at this from a larger perspective, let's say regional?
So, tignan din natin yung vote-rich regions na meron tayo. Yan na yung Calabarzon, Central Luzon, at NCR. If we look at Calabarzon, that's already 9.7 million of the total 68.4 registered voters in the Philippines. For Central Luzon, that's 7.6 million, and for NCR, that's 7.5. So itong tatlo na to, talagang if we're gonna look at it based on regions, ito yung regions na make sure natin na mapupuntahan natin, makakapag-kampanya tayo ng maayos, we will make sure that our messages, our platforms are, will be clear to the voters of these regions. At dito sa tatlong regions na to, nakikita rin natin na mataas din ang nakuhang ranking ni na Senators Bam and Senator Kiko Pangilinan, with Senator Bam getting the top rank for all of these three regions.
So talagang binuhat sila dito sa mga vote-rich regions na ito, no? Especially Senator Bam Aquino, because if we're going to look at this, again, as you mentioned, tatlo sa lahat dito, number 1 na ranking siya, no? So these are the vote-rich regions. How about if we look at this from other regions? Kasi, Monica, isa sa mga biggest stories nitong ating election nga ay yung the Marcos and the Duterte rift. So I want to look at the data that we have from the Ilocos region then, which is the baluarte ng mga Marcos.
So let's look at our data from Ilocos. And of course, as expected, top senator natin dyan, si Senator Amy Marcos, who is the sister of our President Bongbong Marcos. Pero yun nga, no, alam naman natin na we have the Aquinos and the Marqueses have history, political rivalry, but surprisingly, Senator Bam Aquino ranked third, getting more than 1 million votes from this region, from the Ilocos region. At medyo surprising din na pumasok din sa top 12, ranked 11 si Senator Kiko Pangilinan from the Ilocos region. So isa rin yan sa nakatulong sa high ranking nila sa overall top 12 natin.
How about in the Davao region naman, the other side of the coin, which is the bailiwick of the Dutertes?
In contrast, hindi naman nakapasok dito yung dalawa nating pinag-uusapan na senador, na Senators Bam and Kiko. And sa Davao region, straight Duterte yan yung 10 senators endorsed by former President Rodrigo Duterte. And nandyan din yung 2 senators endorsed by Vice President Sara Duterte, sina Camille Villar and Senator Amy Marcos.
So itong, if we look at this, the Davao region, no, ito ba ay, does it paint the picture of the entire Mindanao region? Again, as we know it, ay baluarte nga ng mga Duterte.
We can say that this picture somehow also tells us how these 2 senators perform in the generally in Mindanao, diba? Although there are 2 regions, yan yung Northern Mindanao at Caraga, kung saan si Senator Bam Aquino ay pumasok sa top 12, yun nga lang, rank 11.
Nandiyo siya sa dulo. Noong Magic at 12 natin, no? So again, this is Davao region. Meron bang any more interesting regions that we should look at?
So tignan din natin, no, yung ating Region 5 at Region 6. Historically, dito sa Region 5, this is where Naga is, kung nasaan ang bailiwick ni former Vice President Leni Robredo na nag-endorse din naman sa dalawang senador na to. And not surprising, top Senators Bam and Senator Kiko got the top 2 spots in terms of the top 12 senators voted in that region. Historically, Western Visayas also supports candidates endorsed by the Liberal Party, at mataas rin ang naging rank na Senators Bam and Kiko, with Senator Bam as a top senator in Western Visayas and Senator Kiko at number 4.
Meron ba tayong particular area here that we should interesting to look at?
Kung babalikan natin yung vote-rich provinces, part ng Western Visayas ang Iloilo, at part din yun ng isa sa mga, at Iloilo ay isa rin sa mga vote-rich provinces, no? And for that province, Senator Bam got the first or the top rank at number 1 senator nila, at number 2 naman si Senator Kiko Pangilinan.
Interesting. So if susumahin natin itong lahat ng data that we have, that could get very overwhelming now because ang daming numbers. Pero what's the story behind these numbers, Monica?
Well, masasabi natin na hindi rin siguro lingid sa kaalaman ng mga senador sa mga ang mga numero na to, 'di ba? Yung composition ng ating electorate, kung saan saan mas nakakarami ang boboto sa kanila. And based on this data, I can say that they did their assignment, diba? Tinignan nila kung ano yung pinaka-importanting probinsya at pinaka-importanting mga rehiyon na maaaring makashape ng resulta ng eleksyon na ito.
Because interestingly, may mga surveys din na lumabas na some of the biggest concerns ng ating mga kababayan leading up to the election ay education, which was the platform of Senator Aquino, and food security, which is the platform naman ni Senator Kiko Pangilinan. Interesting data, Monica. So, thank you for joining us, explaining to us all these numbers that could get very overwhelming. And if you're looking for more election-related content, you can visit www.voteph.net. If meron silang mga kandidato na gustong tingnan na kung how they performed in particular provinces, they can also visit that website again. That's www.voteph.net.